Hello again. Now I'm going to cover setting up just the NPC and the matinee for the NPC and the matinee for the camera so we can use them in our Kismet sequence. You can see here there's some matinees there, some matinees there. Even inside the interactions they have some matinees. So I'm going to cover just setting up the matinees for the NPC pawn character and the camera, and I'll show you what a quick walkthrough. Okay, so obviously this is an interaction system, but watch the camera as it zooms in, and watch the animations as we talk to the character. There you go, zooms in, and then we're triggering different animations, and okay, so you can see he does have animations there. Real quick. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so that's his animations. Not perfect, but they do work. And then we'll just leave this, I guess, for a while. And that's the camera moving out. Okay. Otherwise, if we didn't do that, animations. Wherever we walk up to him, he would be facing the wrong direction, and he'd be very static, and it wouldn't be that interesting. So that's what we're going to cover in this video. Okay, you can see I have a new scene here. I'm just going to talk about setting up the individual components, and I will integrate them later. Okay, so first thing we need two things. We need the NPC, and we need the camera. So I'm just gonna, now when you're using the NPC in this manner, he doesn't even need an anim tree, because we're not going to be triggering his animations through anim tree. We're going to be triggering his animations through the camera. Through the matinee. So here's our NPC. Let's do it so we can actually have him. Let's see how he looks. Yeah, he's facing the light. That's fine. If I hit play. I do remember he needed to be scaled. Oh yeah. He definitely needs to be scaled. So we need to scale him about 30% up. Now, if you want to do it, well, first of all, the tools is here. This basic scale tool here. Now watch down here at the bottom when I go to scale them, and also if you want, let's say if right now it's on 5%, so I can only get 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. But if I wanted, I could change the snap down to 1 or 2%, but this will work for now. So once again, watch down here at the bottom, and you just, go to the scale tool, and you scale them up. And that's 30% there. I tested it earlier, and I have my warrior in, by the way, and that's about right. We want him to be, shorter than our character, but still, he can be kind of a tall villager, tall, lanky kind of a guy. So that's taking care of that issue. Now, next thing is we need to tell this character what anim tree to use, and actually what anim set to use. Okay, because he's not going to use an anim tree. And as you from the last tutorial, that's my anim set. I'm just going to say copy. What's that? Copy full name to clipboard. And if I right click on him, I can go to skeletal mesh properties, and you can actually filter these out to make it easier. And I think if I go here, anim, and you can see where you need to anim. Like I said, I don't think we need the anim tree, but we do need the anim set. So I can filter this out. And we don't really need anything on the collision, but we do need the skeletal mesh. Under the skeletal mesh component, you can see anim sets there. We need to add one of those, and then we can actually just say, how's this working again? Use selected. Oh, use selected from. We have it selected here, so we can actually just do this. New NPC Beggar. I think that's all we need, because our animations are going to be in here, and the animation I'm going to call, just so we see something drastic, I'll just do the idle animation. Yeah, so I'll do the idle animation. Okay, and there might even, if I remember, you might be able to tell him which animation he should start off with. Now, anim node sequence. Yes, you see under anim node sequence, now that we've told it which animation we want, we can actually tell it which animation sequence to, I thought we could. I think we have to actually type it in here. So I want it the idle. Well, that's easy. And I'm just going to double click on it. Actually, I'm going to do this just so I can copy it. I don't feel like typing. Rename sequence, Control Z. Oh yeah, sorry, Control C. Just say cancel. And now if I go in here, Control V. I have a feeling. Yeah, playing. And then you click playing and looping. Okay. Now when we start, he should be. No, he's not doing it now. Is he animated? Yeah, there he is. So he's already got an idle animation on him. So that sets up just the initial animation. Hello. Okay, now I'm going to set up the Matinee animation for the camera, and the Matinee animation for the character, and then later on we will trigger those in Kismet. And obviously this is for the Mass Effect style dialogue system that we're using, so you can have some interesting interactions. And you can easily, well, nicely, let's say, animate the camera in and out of cinematic mode. So let's get started. First thing is need to put a camera in the scene. Go to Content Browser, Actor Class, and under Common you can just drag a camera there. Now, I like to go into, for the camera, I like to go into four screen mode, and just first get my camera lined up, and basically I'm just going to have the camera zooming into the character. I also noticed that I've turned off some of the snaps. Let me rotate this, and that's the wrong snap. I don't want that turned off. Let me turn, yeah, I turned off some of the snaps so I could get some better control. And yeah, at this point I'm not going to need the snaps anymore. I'm going to turn those off, make sure I don't forget to turn them back on. Now we can go about this a number of different ways. They have this mode. First thing you want to do is set up your first initial view of the camera, and a nice handy trick you can try is with your camera selected, if you right click and say snap view to actor, that's going to let you look through your camera. Unfortunately, it looks like you either have to do it that way or activate this icon here and then move the camera physically here and then release it, and it will update it once you click on the camera. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be a way to do this in real time, which I find a little bit hard to fathom, but that's how it is. So I'm just going to actually try to get my camera set up, my first animation set up to where I think something like I want. Once again, it's going to be a little bit tricky because I'm a little bit particular. Okay. move away. And okay, so I want to actually make it see what it looks like when I zoom into it, because that's actually really important. I'm going to move him up. I want to be able to zoom in pretty much to his upper body. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, here we go. And I want it pretty much the camera to be, sorry, getting my programs mixed up. I want the camera to pretty much be centered on his face, and I don't want it to be in an angle, so I'll move it just so it moves straight in. Looks like that's about right. Now let's double check both of these. I'm going to move it up just a little bit, see what it looks like. And looks a little bit low. I'm going to have to maybe rotate it. Not exactly what I want. Barbarian's supposed to be a little bit taller, so need to rotate it just a little bit and move it up maybe. Maybe move it back a little bit. Let's see what it looks like. I find this part to be really... Okay, so if I move it right along its local axis, let's see what it looks like. And then snap view to actor. That's obviously too low. So that's going to be something like this. The camera to actor. That's about what he looks like. That's would be pretty nice. So move it straight back and snap camera to actor. And maybe too far now. I find it easier to do it through the camera. I don't really like these controls here. So that looks about right. So I guess I had both of these turned on. I guess you can do it like that. So just to double check, so that's what it looks like zoomed out, and that's where I'm going to start. Okay, so now the next thing to do is to open up Kismet. And I had a Matinee from before, so let me get rid of extraneous things. So I'm just going to start a new Matinee. Okay, what's happening? Okay, here it is. A new Matinee. Right now, just double click on it, and it brings up the Matinee. I have two monitors going, so I have to move that over here and minimize this for now. And now, first thing is let's set up a new camera group here. Right click here, new camera group. You can give it a new name. I'm just going to call it Camera 1 Group, Camera 1 Zoom, whatever you want to call it, something descriptive. Now, in order to be able to look through that camera, I need to actually get a director group, add new director group, and I need to tell that director group to use that camera, or to use this camera group animation. And so I select director, hit enter, and then there's only one thing it can use. Can't use itself really. So camera 1 group, there it is. Right now it's quite long. Let's minimize the time here. Let's give it like, I don't know, 3 seconds. Maybe 4 seconds. Let's go for 4.5 seconds. And open this up. Now, controlling the Matinee window is a little bit strange. If you just click and drag, you can actually move it left or right. Up here, you can click and drag and move it all the way around. This is for the curves, which I find very hard to control in Kismet. So I usually don't. That's why I set up my camera first, at least the first key. And now, yeah, and this is the middle mouse button. If I actually want to move something, if I want to move this first key, I have to hold down, I think it's Control. Yeah, hold down Control to move your keyframes. It looks like it put a key here automatically for me, and I just moved that key. So I need to play with this middle mouse, zoom it in, and yeah, make sure I put that key where it needs to be. Looks like it's right at 0 now. Okay. Now, middle mouse button and the left click mouse, or left button. Now, zoom that out a little bit with the wheel, and now I think I can just go to my next key here, or to the end of the animation, and I'm going to hit this key up here, or this little set key button, and oops, you know what? I did it on the wrong track, so I'm going to actually undo that. Control. Oh well, I'm going to do, with this selected, hit the if I right click, say delete. I don't want to put it on the field of view. I want to put it on the movement. Okay, so make sure you highlight the right track. Then put a new key to your current time. Remember, I moved it all the way to the end here. Click make a new key, and as you can see, it gives me this red indicator here, and also a red indicator here. It's letting me know that I can animate that now. So I have my camera already selected, obviously, and I'm just going to move it in. And what I forgot to do is I forgot to click. No, I guess it will look through it automatically. So just move it in until I find it what I want. And that's, you know, I can play with it. I think that's going to be okay. And now let's double check. I think I actually lost that last key, or I deselected it, and I don't like what's happening. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So that's my animation, right? So I can close this, and let me play it. So here it is. It's a little bit slow. Definitely a little bit slow. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab this first key, select here, and with control, make it maybe, I don't know, 275 to, let's try 2.5, and then I can just grab this red end of animation marker and go here, and now rewind it and see what happens. You know, it's even a little bit, still a little bit slow, if you ask me. So I'm gonna click on this key, hold down the control, because it's kind of, you know, you don't want to have the player waiting all day just for the animation to start the dialogue. It should be a pretty quick thing, in my opinion, anyway. And I might have even started out a little bit too far, but I kind of wanted to see more of the character. So, whoop. So there you go. Yeah. And I'm going to run it backwards when we leave the dialogue. Okay? So there we go. That's the camera animation. Next thing is we are going to do the, let's take a look. Notice how it made my variable camera, and it's not starting because I don't have any event start. I could actually, I'll set this up later. So that's the camera animation. Hello. Okay. Now we're going to set up the animation for the NPC character, the Matinee animation for that character. Okay. So first thing is just go ahead and make a new Matinee. Probably should have had my character selected. Probably doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and first set up new skeletal mesh group. I can name it anything. I'm just going to call it Beggar. Maybe I'll have more than one, so why not put a number here? Okay. Now we need to go to the main group here, and we need to tell it what group anim set to use. So I'm going to find that one, and here it is. Highlight it. category, and there we got it. And also remember that anim set also, as I right click on the character here, that's anim set is also specified here. Looks like I specified it more than once. But okay, anim sets, that's specified there. Okay, remember you can also do a search here to find them. Alright. Okay, that was set up earlier. So now now that I've told it which anim set to use, if I go to the anim track, the movement track is used to move the global rotation, translation keys for this character. Like if I wanted to make him walk forward, I'd have to do, you know, a key here and a key here, and then also play the walk animation. But in this case, he's just going to be standing in one position, so we don't need to worry about the movement track. But we will have him bring in his animation. So now, click the correct track, hit the Enter key, and now since I told it which anim set to use, I have access to its animations here. So I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to just do an idle animation. Okay, and I'm going to zoom this out, make sure I have enough. And you can see here now, as I move this forward, he is doing the idle, but obviously we need more room here. Okay, getting used to these keys is a little bit strange, coming from other 3D applications. And let's do a couple. I'm going to actually put this at the end of that, and hit Enter again. And this time I'm going to do also a, let's see, look at perhaps. That was kind of nice. Hit, oh yeah, it's got hold action. Okay. And so we have a pretty long idle. And then from the idle, it goes into the hold. Not that smooth, if you ask me, but let me zoom in here, make sure now to move these, you need to click on this and hold down the Control key, and you can slide these. You can also, I believe, yeah, you can change the speed of these too here, holding the end and Control key. You can also play these backwards. And I forget where that's at, but you can play this whole track backwards. You can also play it backwards through the Matinee, by the way. You can loop these if you want to, and such, but for now, so he does the, how about he does a look at, and then how about we have one more animation here just to make it interesting. And hit Enter. Now, of course, you can preview these. Oh, stand. He's got the stand. I'm not sure what that looks like. Oh, I forgot. Huh. Oh, he looks down. So it's pretty much like an idle, but he just looks down. Okay, so that's a simple setup here. I wonder what would happen if I put a gap between here and see what happens. Nah, he just looks stupid. And there probably is a way to mix these. Maybe there's a way you could probably blend these easier, but for now we aren't going to worry about that. And then I want to close this down to the right length. I don't want any empty space in my Matinee. And now let's just rewind this, go back to the beginning, play this, and you can see he's got his animations going. got to look at, which he kind of jumps to, which I'm not too happy about that, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, so that's his animation. Okay, and that should, and now we have our standard Kismet here. Oh, one other thing, well, maybe there's more than one other thing, but I need to show you this for sure. You might get this error when you click on this Kismet after you set one up, of a character anyway. It says, Unreal Matinee detects the following warning. Something about the movement tracks, skeletal mesh, physics, not set to physics interpolating, and may not appear correctly. Consider changing the physics type to physics interpolating. So we're going to fix that right now. You can go ahead and close this for a moment. Go click on your character, skeletal mesh properties, and I believe it's going to be down here under physics. Yeah, physics none. He needs to have physics interpolated set. Physics interpolating. And now, when we click on that, voila, no error.